15 Things Not to Do in Laos. Laos, luscious landscapes, winding rivers, beautiful people. The country that has the experience to offer everyone, and will ensure you take away long-lasting and treasured memories. To make your travel experience more enjoyable in Laos, here are some simple but important don'ts you should remember throughout your stay. Number 1. Don't touch a monk. Touching a monk or novice is considered rude, and is totally taboo if you are a woman. Women should also be careful not to accidentally brush up against a monk's robes on the street, in a temple or sharing a tuk-tuk. Women should not hand anything directly to a monk, but instead should pass the item to a male intermediary. The only exception to this rule is giving morning alms to monks by placing the offering of food or money into the monk's alms bowl. Number 2. Don't trek without a guide. While Laos is a comparatively safe country in terms of violent crime and theft compared to its neighbors, it's not without its own brand of danger. 260 million cluster bombs were dumped on Laos from 1964 to 1973, and thousands of unexploded ordnances still litter the countryside, killing or injuring over 100 people every year. If you are trekking, stay on the path, and better yet, go with a guide who knows the land and the language and can keep everyone safe. Number 3. Don't buy antiques or wildlife products. Weak laws and lax enforcement of those that do exist have led to illegal poaching of the wild animals that were once prevalent in Laos. It's illegal to take ivory, or animal pelts or products out of Laos. They will be confiscated and you will be fined. It's also illegal to take antique Buddha sculptures out of the county, as many have been stolen from temples, which deplete cultural heritage. Luckily, the wood carving tradition is alive and well in Laos, and skilled craftspeople carve beautiful new pieces that can be purchased as souvenirs. Number 4. Think before riding a motorbike. Motorbikes are a popular mode of transportation in Laos, but ride at your own risk. There is no trauma center in the country, and should you get into an accident, you'll have to get across the border to Thailand for treatment. There is rampant drinking and driving in Laos, which makes the roads more dangerous at night. Many people, including children, drive without a license. If you do take to the road on 2 wheels, drive defensively, know the risks and check out the bike thoroughly before you drive. Number 5. Respect local people when taking their photographs, especially of children. Generally, locals are happy to be in your photos if you respect their space. If possible, ask permission first. Don't follow people around and try to avoid snapping photos of them doing personal things like bathing. Show the photo to them after you've taken it. Number 6. Insurance. It is important to purchase a good travel insurance policy before traveling that covers against theft, loss and illness or injury. Good medical coverage is particularly important in Laos, where the poor healthcare system means that any serious accident or illness while there would most likely require you to travel to Thailand for treatment. Number 7. Internet access. Internet cafes are increasingly common in Laos, though there are still a fair few towns that don't have access. Numerous cafes and many hotels and guesthouses in Vientiane and Luang Prabang now offer Wi-Fi. Outside of these places, Wi-Fi is limited to more upmarket accommodation, and occasionally cafes in more touristy towns. Number 8. Dress and appearance. Appearance is very important in Lao society. Conservative dress is always recommended, and visitors should keep in mind that the Lao dislike foreigners who come to their country, and dress in what they deem a disrespectful manner. This includes men appearing shirtless in public, and women baring their shoulders and thighs. Number 9. Do not point your feet at locals and Buddha. The Laotians consider the feet as the dirtiest part of the body because it is the lowest. It is therefore offensive to point one's feet at others. When in a temple, also turn your feet away from the Buddha. If sitting in a kneeling position makes you uncomfortable, try the cross-legged sitting, which is usually acceptable for Westerners. Number 10. Do not snack on the temple grounds. You may get slightly hungry or thirsty when walking on the temple grounds. But it is also important to show your respect for the monks who usually only eat twice a day, one in the early morning, one before noon. So refrain from eating or drinking. Number 11. Do not shout or argue while haggling. The Lao people hold a stoic attitude and hate any sort of confrontation. When you negotiate the price with the locals in the market, do not rush and keep your voice soft and slow, and best with a smile. See it as a great opportunity to practice patience and get to know the locals. Number 12. Don't make public displays of affection. The Lao aren't publicly affectionate among friends or romantic partners, and public hugging or kissing is frowned upon. This goes for heterosexual relationships as well as LGBTQ ones, so tread lightly. Number 13. Drugs are illegal. Alcohol is free-flowing and you may be encouraged to drink more than you'd like, although it's also fine to tell your host you're done drinking. You also might find that illegal drugs, especially marijuana and opium, are prevalent. If a tuk-tuk driver offers you drugs unprovoked, your safest bet is to turn him down. Some dealers are in cahoots with the police and will turn in their clients. Number 14. Don't argue with police. Should you be stopped by the police for any minor offense, it's inadvisable to put up a fight or go to the police station. Often the underpaid police force is simply looking to extort money from tourists. It's no use making rational arguments about the dozens of Lao people you've seen doing the same thing that you allegedly got stopped for. The justice system is not the same in Laos as other countries, and the best thing for everyone is to comply, save face and move on. Number 15. Always carry enough cash. The most convenient way to carry money in Laos is to take a good supply of US dollars or Thai baht with you. ATMs are becoming more prevalent, but are still fairly rare, and even so it's best not to rely on them. In addition, some travelers have had problems with receiving funds from ATMs, with reports that their accounts were debited despite not receiving cash at the end of the transaction. So, it is always good to have some cash as a fallback option. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel.